Good evening, everybody. How are we doing this week? Let's see who's in the chat. We got Marianne Bimler and Heartland HQ with Dink and Tank. And there's Retro Replay 83. That's Chris, as in Adventure Awaits. He has 2 channels. And then there's Hiking with Jackie Boy, Rebel at Heart. That's Kelly. We got LJ Woodworks. That's Todd Legendness. Let's see. There's Elegant Woodcraft. It's Dan. Thanks for coming in. Sorry about what happened with the event this last weekend. That stinks that you couldn't be there, but there'll be others. There'll be others. We've got, there's the Ann Dale. I bet she's got her lipstick off. She did the old heave-ho with her lipstick. Bill. My Alaska Bill. There's Adventure Awaits, too. You must have a double personality. And there's Petite Jean River Homestead. That's Bobby. So, we had a pretty exciting week this week. Everybody, or most people at least, because there was 2 events that went on this week. Last week. And there was the Tin Killer Meetup, hosted by Johnny and his crew. And then there was the Bar Run Forge Meetup, which I went to. And that was awesome. We had a great time. His shop is phenomenal. I don't ever use that word. I don't even know why I did. But, okay, phenomenal. It was phenomenal. And I want to show people stuff, and I can't because he's got to put a video out first of his own stuff. There's Johnny's Lathe Craft. Johnny's Lathe Crafts. This is an open mic. You can come up. I'm hoping Bar Run Forge comes up because I'd like to discuss last weekend, and I'd also like to see Johnny if he's in the chat. Watch him pop up because you heard his name. There's MT Homestead. Liberty Layers Hangout. That's Bodie. And James Hall. Leanne is in here too. Yeah. Man, that was a good weekend. I went a day earlier. Well, it's actually 2 days earlier than people that came the day after were a day earlier. Did you hear me, Johnny? I said, come up on panel. I'd like to have you and Troy and talk about the recap of last weekend. It'd be awesome. So what was I saying? Yeah, I showed up 2 days earlier and got some quality time with Troy. That was awesome. We did some stuff to get prepared for the event, and it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Dexter loved it. He really did. Be prepared, people, at the Mid-America Meetup. He's sitting in your lap. He will sit in everybody's lap. He'll take turns. And not just for a little while. He is lap dog for sure. As anybody that went to the Bar Run Forge meetup will qualify. Jeff Killian is in here. Hey, you didn't sit in your lap, Jeff Killian. You were up to doing stuff too much. And I meant to bring out, oh man. Jeff Killian made me this awesome hook, and I meant to show it on the live tonight. And I left it in the house. But I will bring it out next week and show it. The last time I saw him, he made me a bottle opener. So that was pretty cool of him. I feel grateful that you would give me that. There he is. We got well, let's catch up with the chat in a minute. Here's our first guest. Hey, howdy.
Howdy. Hey.
Howdy. Howdy. Where did I come up with that? So, how's it going?
Oh, it's going.
We were so busy as you guys were this week. I didn't even get to see any of the videos from the Tin Killer one. I'm going to have to catch up.
Yeah, we're just trying to keep our powder dry over here right now.
Powder dry?
Yeah, it's been wet, but you know what? Good Lord, he placed a hedge of protection around the Tin Killer, and he had we had one like 35-minute rain during that whole deal.
Yeah.
Good.
So far, keep our fingers crossed. The Mid-America is going to look good too.
Yep. We're hoping so.
It's going to be in the upper 70s. That's okay.
Kevin says send the rain that way. Kevin, I would send all you can handle. I'm telling you, buddy.
Yeah, you guys are wearing off on me with that redneckness.
Yeah, and we had 2 calves during the Mid-America or the Tin Killer YouTube meetup, and then we had one the day after. So anyway, or no, wait a minute. No, we had one right before and 2 during. Never mind. There we go.
Awesome.
I'm bringing snow to Mid-America, says Bill. You probably could, Bill.
Well, you bring the temperature down a little bit, and it'll be in the 70s, low 70s. That would be awesome.
It would be.
There's the carving wizard. The carving wizard came in. Thank you for coming in. There's Jennifer Ocean Homestead. And there's Heather Landsman.
Howdy. No plumber redneck. Yeah.
Yeah, it was an amazing weekend for both of us.
Right. Did you get enough to eat, Brian?
I'm going to roll on the Mid-America.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to see my car roll into your driveway. It's going to be me just rolling.
So, yeah, we had a lot of good food too. I mean, you got over at Troy's deal, or Run Forge over that meetup that they had over there. I think they did a lot of cooking and smoking and doing all that kind of stuff of the food. We did breakfast type stuff, but we ate at restaurants a lot, so it was really good. Yeah, I gained 10 pounds too, James, at least.
Old Path Woodworks is in here. That's Josh.
Howdy.
Yeah, Johnny, I hope you like a lap dog, because Dexter will jump in your lap and he'll stay there till your leg falls asleep.
Until your leg falls asleep.
Yep, that's what Troy said. My leg's falling asleep.
Well, at least he's getting plenty of rest over there, I can tell. Your little pup. Dexter getting plenty of rest.
Well, anytime I take him for a walk or anything, he's very active. I mean, he's not inactive. He knows how to be active. It's just that he also knows how to sleep in someone's lap, too.
Yeah, that would be a good one, Bill.
I want to see Dexter playing together. Play.
We could do that. We could do a short.
Yeah. Dexter would probably love Danny. I don't know how much Danny would love Dexter. He loves everybody.
Maybe Elmer. Elmer's a
little lover. Can we put him on his back and then he can ride around?
Oh, Elmer would probably let him sit on his back.
Oh, Dexter would probably fall asleep on top of the cow, on top of the.
Yeah, Bodie's little dog Lemmy was a hit at Tin Killer. Yeah, Leanne wants to hold Dexter. Dexter and Elmer. That would be a good short. I think we'll have to make that happen. I think we'll make that one happen.
Looks like you're getting a bath, Dexter. You know, smell like a cow patty.
No, yeah, well, could happen. Could happen. They're out there.
There's water and there's soap. I have to remember to bring my his shampoo. Leanne wants to hold Dexter. He'll let you. He'll let you.
Oh my!
Is James Hall going to get to be at the Mid-America Meetup too? Dexter needs a little competition.
I think James is dependent upon. He'll probably tell us right here, but it's dependent upon something with his work at that time. So
has he been working?
Well, I'll let him talk about it.
Talk about it.
So,
did I see Dexter?
I saw Jeff Killian said something about bacon wrapped, smoked stuffed cheese meatloaf. My gosh, I hope you got some of that left over and bring it with you. Freeze it, bring it with you.
Who said that? Who said that?
Jeff Killian.
Yeah. Oh, that. And you know what? There was no leftovers.
Oh, no.
In fact, Dick, you know, and he made it more. He made more than he did last year. But the meetup was, would you say it was close to? I think it was double. I think it was double from last year. They had 40 people, or wait a minute, they had 20 people last year and 40 people this year.
That's awesome. James said, not sure. It's up to work and doctors.
Well, you tell work and your doctors that you're going.
17 pounds of meatloaf you guys ate. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't get that stat. Jeff Killian must have been on the inside.
Yeah. Well, we're weighing it.
Oh, they had, and then the next day they did a stir fry with kielbasa.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and the potatoes were those are good potatoes.
Yeah. We're going to sit here and gain weight while we're on your live, aren't we? We're just
and sour cream and other stuff you could put on it. It was good. It was really good. I had a really fun time. It was nice to get to. I mean, I had a better connection with people going this time because I know them. I know them better than I did last time.
Right.
Bland's Promised Land showed up too. Well, that was Eric and two of the kids showed up. Monica was not with them.
Right.
She threw her back out.
So, but yeah, I'm sitting here trying to, you know, I know you're going to be coming, you know, this isn't a secret or anything like that, but you're coming to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
For the Mid-America YouTube meetup. So Brian will be here, and he may not get the long distance award, but he is coming. So, but I'm trying to, you know, come up with some things for us to do while you're down here, and I may have some stuff, so we'll see.
I'll just be happy to get to hang out with you and Christine, have that quality time. So don't kill yourself over it.
No, I was trying to find us an auction to go to.
That would be awesome. That would be fun. I'd like that.
Yeah. See, Bill says long distance award is all mine. Unless Paul Honeyman comes or something like that.
I want to see that guy go.
Or Jonesy. Jonesy could show up. Yeah, Christine is great. She's great. She's a great gal.
Crater Creek is in here.
She is already asleep, though.
Lori's prepping for heaven.
Hey, Mickey. Good to see you, Mickey. So we had, I think for Thursday night, when we ate on Thursday night, we ate at the world famous Jose's, guys. And the only reason it's world famous is because I've talked about Jose's on my videos before, and some of my videos actually have been seen overseas, so it's world famous. So anyway, we had I think we had a little over 20 people at Jose's, which is about what it can handle. You know, realistically, that's about as many as it could really handle, along with their regular group or their regular meal group, people who come and eat there normally. And then on Friday night, we ate at the Princess Drive-In, and we had 58 eating Friday night at the restaurant. And I tell you what, it was amazing. They had the best. I think we took a vote, and I think they had the best catfish most of us had ever even had before. Of course, you know, there's probably people in here that can make catfish that's better. But anyway,
Reverend Joe Jacobson is in here, and so is Musgrave Family Farm.
Yep, Musgrave. Yep. And then, so yeah, James, great catfish. That's right. Did I ever go to the Stigler livestock auction? No, but you know, I could be talked into it. I went to a livestock auction today, actually. So I can tell you what, I wish I had about 40 head for sale right now. It's crazy. It is crazy how high cattle are. You don't want to buy cattle right now. You want to sell cattle right now. So, but Brian, tell me something memorable about this weekend. Something funny, memorable. You know, I got something funny. I'll tell you.
Funny and memorable?
Yeah, something memorable.
I don't know if I could tell you that. I'll think of it. You can't get me on a spot like that. I'll think about it.
Well, I'll tell you
the
something.
The whole event was memorable. Anything that was funny, I mean, Dexter was a hit.
Yeah.
Dexter was a hit.
Well, that's awesome. Dexter will be a hit with the cows, too. I can already tell. So
running in between the legs.
So we had something memorable. We had Greg Duncan, Duncan Family Farms. Him and Paul Case were giving our waitress a hard time at the Princess Drive-In. One of our waitresses, we had two waitresses that were taking care of our group, and he said something about somebody had talked about having a YouTube channel or something like that, and the waitress mentioned it or something, and Greg Duncan goes, "Well, I've got a YouTube channel too, like that," and she goes, without even blinking, she goes, "I don't care." So whenever you see on all these shorts and stuff from the 10 Killer YouTube Meetup, and they all say "I don't care" on them, because it'll be like hashtag "I don't care this, I don't care." It's all about Greg Duncan of Duncan Family Farm. So
Bailey Woodworks is in here. Good
evening, Bailey.
You missed out on a good event. Oh wow, you missed out. I was surprised to see how many people are in Ohio.
Yeah, there's a few people
like West Virginia and Kentucky. Yeah, the people who are makers. Ohio's got the makers. I didn't know that. As you know, I was looking for them and I couldn't find them, and they were all right there.
Yeah. And he did deserve it. He absolutely deserved it. I'm telling you. Greg Duncan, he's a character. So he deserved it.
Pelo Creations is in here. Good evening. Thanks for stopping by.
My Square County.
Not making too many meetups this year.
There he is. Speak of the devil. There, Greg Duncan. Hey, Duncan Family Farm. Welcome, welcome. You made it in. Yeah, they're a card like Paul. Yeah, they're a card. That's for sure. It was a hit though, because there's a lot of shorts out there about that. So, well, we cooked breakfast 2 mornings in a row, and that was, I can tell you one thing, whatever we cook for bacon this year, we're going to double it next year. Because, I mean, it was the cooks were having to hold it back, hold a little back so they would get a bite of it, and then luckily they thought of me once or twice, and I got a couple of pieces of bacon out of that deal. So
better make some extra for Dexter.
Hashtag I don't care. That's right, Duncan Family. And Bodie says it was so good, the food was great. I don't know that our food was better than the Bar Run Forge food, but it was pretty good. I mean, it was pretty good. I still want to try some of that bacon wrap.
We'll never know, will we? We'll never know. I know how good it was. And I don't know how good yours was, because I wasn't there.
Well, I know we had good catfish. I know that. I know we had, and we had really good Mexican food. So, between those things. And I saw Bill said he wanted to go to Jose's and meet Danny whenever he comes to Oklahoma. And I said, we can probably make that happen. I bet we can make all that happen. We even had
Danny's at Jose's.
Huh?
Take Danny to a Jose's.
No.
Like,
no. So where's Troy at? Is he in here?
Troy, no, not yet.
He might be still recuperating.
It was a big weekend for him, that was sure. I'm sure as his adrenaline was high and wore him out. He had a great time. I know he did. He was just smiling all the time.
I did see that, James, that they got a letter to become a Centennial Farm. The farm has been in the Duncan family for over 100 years. In Oklahoma, if a farm's been in your family for over 100 years, then it becomes a Centennial Farm. So that's pretty cool. And then somebody said that they saw we had a bunch of grills going. Looked like we had 4 or 5 grills going for breakfast. We did. I think we had 4 grills going for breakfast. And next year we'll probably have to put at least another one online, I think. We've already got the date for next year, by the way. And it's not the same weekend as the Bar Run Forge. It's the weekend before. So, Brian, you can swing through Oklahoma. And then on your way back, you'll be at Bar Run Forge.
Oh, my gosh.
You can rest at the house before you have to leave, I'm just saying.
I like doing it this way. I like the fact that I'm going this time and getting to visit you guys the way we are. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Right. Exactly. So if y'all don't know, Brian is coming. And I think if I haven't talked to you in a bit, but I think you're swinging past here on the way, right?
Yeah. Are you skirting around to see who was said what? Oh, here we go. The two hosts of the best.
There he is.
There he is. Hey, good evening, Troy.
All right. I'm hoping there's no echo.
Sound good?
I'm just sitting in front of the studio.
Are you talking into a squirrel?
Yes.
Where's all the food, Troy? Did you eat it?
Not all of the beans are gone, and there's a little bit of sausage, gravy, and biscuits left.
Oh.
Man, if I came through this year to get some of that bacon wrapped, smoked, what?
Meatloaf.
Bacon. Wait a minute. Bacon wrapped, stuffed, smoked meatloaf.
Yeah.
It's wrapped and stuffed?
Yes.
You're not the carving wizard.
You stuffed it while you were wrapping it?
Yes.
That was good. And I can guarantee you, if it was last year, I wouldn't have gotten any.
That's true.
I mean, wait a minute. If last year I got some, even after the fact.
Right.
Not this year because it was gone. It was gone before dinner was over.
Gonzo.
Yeah, we got to meet.
Made an extra one.
We got to meet up with that Liberty Lairs Hideout Bodie at 10 Killer. So that's a new channel there. And they came to 10 Killer and they're over here. They're kind of following the Wednesday night, Thursday night, live cruise and stuff like that. So welcome them in.
You didn't forget.
Jeff Killian, I did remember that there are eggs, pickled eggs and pickled beets in the fridge. So they will be taken care of.
You're all by yourself, so you can eat those things like nobody's business.
Yeah.
It's been kind of nice.
I'm not around you eating those pickled eggs.
Well, we also had ham and beans and cornbread. So I've been hitting those about every day for lunch. I've been out here in the shop working, trying to put everything back together. And that has, hey, I can throw a bowl of those in the microwave and warm them up and eat them.
Yeah.
Well, Troy, that was an awesome event. You knocked yourself out this year. And you didn't have Mima and Eon. Eon. Now I can't think of it. Eli.
I heard what you meant.
There's Bobby at Pettit Jean River Homestead over in Arkansas. Hey, Bobby, just want to throw one thing at you. Saturday, I'm supposed to be street racing in Shakota in the GTO. So we've got a street race. My car fits the rules perfectly, and they're going to hate it. So I'm ready for that.
Yeah, Eli was here. He just wasn't useful. He was down for the count with his knee surgery, and Memaw was she was kind of out because of her brain surgery, so didn't really have a whole lot of assistance from them, but that's all right. Everybody kind of chipped in, including Brian. Just did a great job helping out, made everything possible, really.
Dan's Homestead is in here, and here's Critter Creek. Good evening.
Hey, Mickey.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Hey, I didn't mean to interrupt, but, well, I guess I did, but Johnny Gillum called me out. I'm not going to take a bunch of time here. He called me out on I think it was a live at 10 Killer. And he asked me if I was afraid of the rain. So, to keep my manly pride, I had to find him on some live, and I knew he'd be at Brian's house tonight. So, I came in here to not only say I'm not afraid of the rain, but I'm not afraid of Johnny Gillum either.
He's done that to me too, to be honest with you.
I can't even say this with a straight face.
I can't listen to it with a straight face. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm trying to be all serious here. Johnny Gillum called me out on a live and said, "Are you afraid of the rain?" Well,
And?
no. And
Oh.
then he says, "Help me understand." Okay. Well, that part I can't go into because I'm one of those people who, like, if I'm praying about something and believing in God for something, then I have to pick and choose my words to so I'm not speaking words of unbelief. So here's what I need everybody that's worth, or I mean, that is willing to listen to know. There is no two people that I know on YouTube that I would not go through hell or high water for. And that is Johnny Gillum and Miss Christine. Okay. So if there was any way I could have been there, Johnny Gillum, I would have been there with like bells on. Well, I look cute in bells, but I would have been there if there was any way. And all I can say right now is I don't post issues that I'm going through in life, but just know this. I love you two more than you'll ever understand. And if I could have been there, I would have been there. And I've got a video coming out. I had to come on and catch you before all this because I got a video coming out of Johnny live at the meetup and me live on my back porch. Pouring down rain and all that stuff. And I thought, oh my God, this is too good. Because he had just called me out about the rain. But it was just like thunderstorms and pouring down rain. I captured a video and I said, this is me on my back porch in Norman, Oklahoma. This is Johnny Gillum smiling at Lake Tenkiller. And I put it over there right then when he was doing the live. And there just sunshine and butterflies and everything.
That's right.
And I thought, man, if you only knew how mad I was that I wasn't there. I can't talk about why I wasn't there because I'm way too nice for that. But if I could have been there, brother, I guarantee you I would have been blessed like everybody else that showed up there. Don't run away, Troy. I'm hushing. Troy, come back. Come back. Anyway, I just wanted to come on, Brian, and I knew Brian was the only one to let me in the back door. Anyway, I just wanted to say that I greatly, greatly, greatly regret. Sometimes I even get mad at God, but it's not his fault. Anyway, I'm just saying that I wished I was there, Johnny. It looked like I wrote you a message that said what I truly believe, and I don't say something I don't believe. That was one of the best events that I've been able to watch through YouTube. It was so laid back, It was like people getting a chance to meet people.
Right.
So I really missed out on that one. And I've decided, and I think some people know I'm looking for an RV to go on, my bucket list, living the bucket list. What I've decided to do is after the Mid-America Meetup and after Pomme de Terre, I'm just going to take my RV, if it all comes to pass, out to Tenkiller. I'm just going to sit there for a year.
Just to make sure you're there.
minus 1 week. Just if I'm there. And I'll be out there going the redneck weather report. It's raining like thunder out here at Tenkiller, and I don't care because I'm waiting for Johnny Gillum to show up. Hey,
Well, that'll probably happen pretty soon because did you see those catfish that Dakota caught down there?
oh my
Yeah.
my thumbnail that I had already created for a video was me under a bridge catching a catfish.
Oh my.
And I'm talking about fishing and stuff like that. And I went, what? And then they said that kid caught it.
I only have one.
I would never have admitted that, if it were me, because I'm kind of a, redneck. But anyway, it was a great event from what I saw, and I know it was because everybody says so. And thank you, Brian, for letting me come on. Sorry, Troy, for
No. I only had one.
interrupting.
I only had one question. The only question I had was, how much did Johnny pay you to say all those nice things?
I asked Johnny before I came on, and how much would you charge me to come on and say good stuff? He
Right.
said,
Well, I need to know that
well,
because
he said
I
I'm
need to
going.
talk him
I'm
into
going.
saying nice things about me for some reason.
Yeah, because I got it figured out. He said, I'm going to a race at certain racetrack. I can't disclose it because he made me sign a non-disclosure agreement. And he said, the ticket is only $742. So send me the money in advance, and I guarantee you Miss Christine will be at the starting line going, ready? I'm kidding. That's a cartoon I did. So I love you guys. And Troy,
Yes, sir.
someday, I'm doing this series called Living My Bucket List. And there's people in the communities that I watch. I never respond. I never comment, but I'm always watching. Love, and respect your art, sir. And someday, don't worry, I'm not going to show up on your doorstep or nothing.
It's happened. It's okay.
Well, no, I can't do that because I don't want anybody to be able to make a video about me. One of those, I caught a trespasser on my property. But someday I'm going to reach out and say, can I stop by and see that? Because I call you and Brian artisans. You're not artists, you're just beyond that.
Oh,
and then there's one called the Bearded Carpenter.
Yeah.
Man, there's just people that I watch and follow faithfully, And so anyway, that's all I got to say, except for someday I'm gonna get to feed that bull of yours, Johnny Gillum. But don't worry, I won't show up at your place either. Love you guys. I'm out of here, and I just wanted to come on and say, Johnny, I'd have been there if I could have. Okay.
I know, Mickey. I didn't give you much grief.
just enough to where I had to come on and respond. And I'm not gonna tell a joke and click off like Paul Case does, because that's my compliment to him when I do that. Much love to this community. I'll go back and read. I saw Pure Okie, JB Conway in the chat. But I'll go back and read the chat and go, man, I wish I'd have seen that. But love you guys, and I'll see you on the road soon.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Thanks for coming in.
Bye,
Hey, thanks for letting me in.
Mickey.
I wasn't going to just, okay, bye. Okay, let's catch up with the chat a little bit. I saw a couple people in here. There's Plywood. How you doing? Nice to see you in here. And we've got who was the other person? Oh, Mike is making stuff. He was on our live. He was on the live a couple of weeks ago. Actually, that was 3 weeks ago because I was at Troy's last week. Boy, was that was a messed up live at first.
Oh, last Wednesday?
Yeah, but it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it anyway.
Yeah, we slipped the tires at the start a little bit on that one.
There's a DJ Turneroo as well. So, okay, Johnny asked me a question, and I'm going to direct it at you, Troy. What was the most memorable moment from the event?
Huh. There were a couple that stood out, to be honest with you. One, we did a tribute to one of the original attendees, Frank Strock, and we had a board put up on the wall, and we took a little time of silence, and I didn't anticipate that it was going to kind of hit me that hard as it did. And Frank passed away this past year. And it was a hard moment. It really was. And I didn't think it was going to be, but it was real. It was absolutely for real. To be able to look up there and see Frank's name and then just take a time to remember Frank. It's the one of the other times we had a gentleman and his son come that are really special to our community. And as about, I don't know, 20 minutes into it, he corners me and he says, Mr. Troy, he said, I've been hoping to talk to you for a long, long time. And he said, I wanted to know if it would be okay if my daddy and I come back here and you baptize us. And I'm just blown away. And he said, I got to thinking, and he said, there wasn't any other person I'd ever want to do that for me and my dad than you. And again, that just bam, it just hit me hard, and those two moments were probably, I mean, I hate to say it, it was so much fun for the weekend, but those two moments will just stick in my head and in my heart for such a long time. For sure. Definitely.
Can anybody vouch for Rudy Arita?
Are you talking about for the basement?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, and I hate to say that, how would I top those two things, Just a dedication to one of our founders, so to speak, of our event, and a person giving their life to Christ. Everything else was gravy at that point.
I have to say to both of you, I just saw my first tick.
Oh.
And it was at my own house.
That's what you call a segue, and that wasn't even a segue. That was just like a jump. And I didn't mean to mention that to bring the mood down or whatever, but those are such special moments. But hey, finding the tick is a big deal too, I guess.
Says the guy talking into a squirrel.
Well, I had told both of you that I have never seen a tick in real life.
Well, I told you we'd show you all the ticks you ever want to see.
It's over.
We got them here.
I've seen it, and boy, I didn't realize they were that big.
Oh,
I thought ticks were just little tiny things.
And that's not even like the tiny ones are actually the ones that have more of a problem than the big ones.
Yeah, well, yeah, we got the
the
Lone Star tick here, which
laughed at me.
Pretty good size one.
James, that's just what I was thinking about.
It's a great revival.
First self-righteous church.
Just a second, people.
Pulled my first tick at 10 killer, but it could come from my house. Hey, Greg, I went around there and I spread tick granules all over the place. I put that stuff out heavy.
Jeff, you're allowed to play the raffle again, but hey, man, you should have went and got a lottery ticket that day. Jeff Killian won just about everything, to be honest with you, on all our giveaways and stuff like that. he about cleared the table. And it couldn't go to a better guy. Tell you what, Jeff and Janice are great people.
JB, I'm sure glad to see you're feeling better. Mike said you looked like you were doing real good. I'm happy to hear that. So, but yeah, a tick. That was something.
You know, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that because I think I zoned out for a second there and came back with tick.
Yep, I think that's what happened. I really think that's what happened.
Well,
yeah, he did.
Then you said segue, and I thought you were going to mention what was said about ticks and chiggers.
Oh my gosh. And I hope I get it right, Brian. I really do. And
I don't even know because I can't.
We were sitting around talking about, ticks and all kinds of stuff. And Brian, I think if I get it right, he said he'd never seen any chicken tiggers.
Chicken tiggers?
Yes.
I don't remember if I actually said it that way the first time. I probably did because I wasn't paying attention to what I was saying.
Chicken tiggers.
That you get those at, like
we were talking
Roadhouse.
about me going down to, or I was mentioning that I was going down to Tick and Chigger Fest.
Yes, it was about Tick and Chigger Fest.
But I screwed it up and said chicken tiggers.
Yeah. You get those at the Roadhouse with honey mustard. The little chicken tiggers.
Does Jose's have chicken chiggers? Chicken tiggers?
Chicken tiggers.
That may be on the menu next year for the gathering.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yep.
That was really weird, though. That was really weird after just saying that I've never seen one, and then all of a sudden it's there.
Oh, wow.
I was sitting in my recliner.
Was it stuck? Was it stuck, Brian?
No. It was just crawling on my leg, and I picked it up. I said, "Oh my god!"
You hadn't got the full experience
Mike was
yet.
making
I
stuff.
tried pinching that sucker, and it didn't even. It laughed at me, and then I flushed it down the drain.
Mike is making stuff. Said the spicy chicken tiggers are the best.
Oh man!
Fire. Well, the chiggers will give you the fires.
It's gonna stick.
I'll tell you what, Brian. When you come down, not only will we send you home with ticks, but I'll send you home with an armadillo too. How's that?
No thanks. Although Dexter would probably cuddle with it.
Oh, I'll never forget, Troy. I got a story for you. All right, Troy, you're from Ohio, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So a few years ago, like several, I was down in Texas, down South Texas. I was hunting javelina and hogs with bow. And these guys show up from Ohio on this ranch we were on. We were on the King's Ranch. You may have heard of it down in South Texas. And so these guys show up in a U-Haul, right? They figured out, they didn't have an RV and they didn't want to pay for a hotel. So they brought a U-Haul. They rented a U-Haul and brought it, which I thought was brilliant. I really did. I thought, man, that is brilliant. And so they drove that thing all the way down there. But it was really odd watching that U-Haul drive up and down those senderos and through all that cactus and stuff. But they did it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm sure it had like 6 flats on it when they took it back because they had dual rear wheels. But anyway, so they went out the first day and they come in with this armadillo. And man, they were all pumped up about this friggin' armadillo. Oh. And they were just, oh my God, I got to get this thing mounted. I got to do this. I got to do. We were over there laughing. We took that armadillo. And in the night, we laid that armadillo up on its back, put a beer can in its paws like that.
Nice.
They got up next morning, looked out there. But anyway, they did. They took it. They said they took it to have it taxidermied.
Oh, sure.
Like,
Yeah.
we went over those things like every day.
Absolutely. That'd be like coming home from here with a groundhog.
Possible the half shell. So that's back when you, I guess, has Armadillo's made it up your way yet?
No, we haven't seen any up here.
Not yet.
When I was doing my internship in Mobile, Alabama, you go on the causeways and over top of the swamps, and just they were everywhere because there was nowhere else for them to go except for down in the swamps with the gators. And man,
these guys had never seen one. I mean, never seen one. They were like,
I saw a lot of dead ones coming home last year. The 10 killer meetup.
oh yeah, we got plenty. I can probably find
they
3 in the yard right now.
Armadillos stink.
Huh?
dead ones do.
Well,
I know. I heard that, but even in a live one stinks.
well, I mean, they're not the best to smell. I mean, it's not like smelling a skunk or nothing, but I wouldn't want to have one in my mouth.
And what is it that they carry? Something
Leprosy.
really?
Yeah.
But
Leprosy.
You can take care of leprosy, right?
Speaking of skunks,
Yeah, we take care of it with about a 55 grain bullet.
look right there.
Yeah, there's a skunk right there with a bullseye on it.
Yep.
Okay, now out of the corner of my ear, Troy, I kept hearing about the exploding
The exploding
Nope.
sheep.
sheep,
Yeah.
and it seems like I heard that story, but I'm gonna have to tell it again because I don't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can tell the exploding sheep story. That's a fun one. By the way, you guys remember the amazing Karnak, Johnny Carson?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I do.
so he would hold the envelope up to his head and he would say something and he'd open it up and he would read it. One of my favorite ever with Johnny Carson. He got the envelope out and he puts it up to his head and he says, "Sis boom ba, sis boom ba," and Ed McMahon, "Sis boom ba," does his whole thing and he rips it open, opens it up, and he said, "The sound a sheep makes when it explodes." And they lost it. I mean, they couldn't get the show back going again. So, sis boom ba. Anyway, we had just outside that door across the little driveway, we had used to be what we called the sow barn, but every once in a while we'd run sheep in there. And we had this old ewe who had problems after she'd had her lamb, and she had prolapsed. So we tried to do our best to put everything back in place, put the harness on her and everything. And we were getting ready to go on vacation for a couple of days, just for the weekend. And so it was my job to kind of take care of her. I asked Dad, what are we going to do? He said, just give her plenty of grain, food, and water. She really didn't want to get up, but I kept hay, grain, water right at her mouth. So if she could eat, she would eat. It was kind of a long shot that she would even make it. So we went for the long weekend. We come back, and of course, I got to go check on this ewe. And as I go across the way to the building, carrying a bucket of water, and I go she was on the back side of the building. As I was just getting ready to turn the corner to get to the back side of the building, I heard this. And as I turned the corner, I saw this shower of maggots and goo and all kinds of stuff. She, in that 3 to 4 day period, had died and swelled up to the point where she exploded.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Nice.
So 3 seconds earlier, I would have walked straight into that and been covered. But yeah, that was the only sound I could hear, was just that. Ugh. Nasty. Now, what happens to that? Everybody doesn't think, oh, well, that's terrible, that's horrible, that's disgusting. You still got to get her out of the pen.
Yeah.
You don't just leave her lay there and that's the end of it.
We already did.
Yeah.
Ew.
She was dead already. There was nothing saving her. Yeah, that was a good one. And that's one of Eric and Monica's favorite stories that I tell. And so I was able to take Eric over to the spot where the sheep exploded.
I saw the spot.
Exploding sheep. You know,
The
that's
exploding
something
sheep.
I'm going to remember Troy by exploding sheep.
There you go.
We all got to remember somebody from something, and, you know.
That's right.
I guess maggot-infested exploding sheep is just as good as anything to
Why not?
remember somebody. That is squirrely talks into.
You know,
You were telling me
a guy who's been in the ministry and preaching the gospel for 32, almost 33 years, and reaching out to people all over the world and going on mission trips and just creating a craft and doing all the exploding sheep.
Exploding sheep.
That's what I'll be remembered for.
You don't tell that in church, do you?
Oh, I've told that one, sure.
Of course he has.
Yeah.
I could certainly see my pastor telling me a story about exploding sheep.
Yep.
For sure.
I did see you, Pure Okie. Hello there. Was
And my
she
folks know I'm just an old farm boy, so they know they're going to get farm boy stories.
Was she at 10 Killer? Pure Okie?
No.
Mm.
Well, she was, but she wasn't down at the park.
Mm.
She lives down there. So it finally feels good.
Yeah, that was a great time. I was sitting in that chair. I was sitting in that very chair and trying to talk into that very dead cat.
That's true. That's true.
And I watched it to hear if I could hear it, and you couldn't hear it. So I was
I may have had the wrong
I was
scene.
doing something
selected.
wrong or whatever.
No, I think I had the wrong scene selected on the live, where I didn't have the interview scene. I only had the what we call the single player, where if I'm by myself, they can see me up there at the forge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't on the screen.
You've done it now. Your exploding sheep on Mickey's deal has become my emu that I thought was going to kick my butt up in the deer woods one day with Mickey. So
Oh my goodness.
get ready, because you're going to have an exploding sheep cartoon come out.
Okay.
Oh,
No shocker.
Coming.
Is there anybody we missed?
Pelo Creations got to run. See you later, Plato.
First
Thanks for
on the
coming
right.
in, Plato. Awesome. Well, we're down to the last minute. I want to thank everybody in the chat for coming in and my moderators. Some of you may see that you are moderators. I made you moderators a couple of weeks ago. It's hard to believe that the last time I was sitting here was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
I did
And,
say emu.
what?
I'm just
And,
responding to the chat.
Thank you, Critter Creek, for coming in. Thank you, Johnny and Troy, for coming in and sharing our events. And it was great. We will see you next week, Wednesday, 9:00 Central. Bye for now.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Don't leave, Troy.
Sis boom ba.
Sis.